The gap between university education and the market industry is very apparent in the context of Nepal. The teaching styles in schools and universities are more lecture-based, focusing more on theories rather than allowing the students to apply the learned theories in the real market scenario. Not only that, the capacity of students are judged according to the grades earned during the examinations. But is this approach helping to narrow the gap? To understand this scenario better, Kathmandu University School of Management, King's College, Idea Studio and Young Innovations has come together and collaborated with OMK Labs from Oulu University of Applied Science, Finland, and launched a program titled Building University Capacity to Support Business Incubation in Nepal, or BUCSBIN in short. The program aims to create a link between the university education and the industry and allow the students to experience real market scenarios right from the education level. At the heart of this program is a learning model which is titled as Lab Studio Model, which is also known as Lab Learning Model.
हाम्रो कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ कस्तो भइसक्यो भने एजुकेसन चाहिँ इट्स मोर अफ अ नलेज बेस्ड अनि डिग्री बेस्ड भयो अर्गनाइजेसनमा गएपछि चाहिँ फेरि फ्रम द स्टार्ट स्किल्सहरू डेभलप गर्नुपर्ने भयो अब ल्याब बेस्ड मेथड अफ टिचिङ चाहिँ कस्तो खालको हो भनेदेखि उनीहरूलाई नलेज मात्र होइन कि स्किल्स पनि डेभलप होस् उनीहरूको माइन्डसेट पनि प्रपर होस् जब अर्गनाइजेसनमा जाओस् कि दे आर रेडी टु पर्फर्म भन्ने खालको चाहिँ ल्याब बेस्ड मेथड अफ टिचिङको भयो
स्टुडेन्ट्स एक्चुअली लर्न by doing hands-on approach they choose they decide on a project अनि एउटा social issue लाई solve गर्दै गर्दै एउटा project last मा बनाएर चाहिँ they learn many things that त्यो learning गर्ने नयाँ pedagogy चाहिँ lab methodology भयो the space चाहिँ lab itself.
Before we present the practices adopted by Lab Learning Model, let's briefly look at the history of BUCSBIN and how it came into being. In November 2017, faculty members and staff members of partnering organizations of BUCSBIN were invited to Finland, where they were showcased the philosophy behind the Lab Learning Model. A few months later, in April 2018, the mentors from Finland set up a 3-day workshop in Kathmandu, where the observers who visited Finland got to experience the process as students. Finally, in June 2018, another 5-day residential workshop was held where the students from the previous workshop were assigned as coaches. This workshop allowed participating students to delve deeper into the process-based approach. Finally, after all these trainings and experiences, 4 coaches from the workshop were assigned as lab masters and were given the responsibility to conduct another workshop, but this time solely on their own, with the Finnish mentors being just observers. Before we see how the workshop turned out to be, let's see what exactly a lab master is.
A lab master is a teacher plus many other things. When I say teacher, content side of things भयो plus the human side of behavioral side of things पनि facilitate गरिरहेको मान्छे चाहिँ lab master भयो.
So in that sense, yes, taking care of the logistics, taking care of the participants and taking care of everything else that's required for the best learning outcome of the participants is what the lab master does.
With 3 newly appointed lab masters, the 3 days workshop were held in King's College and Kusum respectively in the first round, and the selected teams were brought together at Hotel Himalaya to present their findings in front of invitees from industry. Besides that, there were prototype showcasing from the participating groups, panel discussions, presentations by industry experts, and also words of encouragement by Dr. Pekka Seppala, Development Policy Advisor from Finland.
Course for some time, and what I'm really inspired is the commitment of people being involved in this. I think this is something very extraordinary, and I think that's very important also for the results.
From this 3 days bootcamp, what I was able to gain is that I tried to identify the problems, research solutions and resolve the solutions to it.
आइसके पछाडी चाहिँ मलाई के थाहा भने how to tackle a problem, how to identify a problem हैन.
I found it very useful for me. This actually can help me in my personal as well as my professional life.
Now that we have looked at the way lab learning model has been applied and taught, let's dig a little deeper into the practices and approach of this model.
हामीले पहिलादेखि ट्राई गर्ने भनेको we're told what to do and then we apply it and it works or not we don't really know about it yet. Lab modelमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ भने first we make them do something and then they look, they learn about the mistakes, they see everything, what happened, what worked, what didn't work. And usually हामीले सिकाउँदाखेरि चाहिँ theory first and then application हुन्छ, but यसमा चाहिँ ठ्याक्क पहिला application गर्न लगाउँछ and then we theorize.
This model also has a unique way of handling feedback.
त्यो I think यो lab model सिक्दाखेरि नै feedback भन्ने कुरा एकदम इन्ट्रेस्टिङली सिक्यो क्या बिकज हामीले फिडब्याक भनेको whenever we get feedbacks we try to get very defensive about it हुन्छ नि तिमीले यो किन गरेको भन्दा होइन मैले खास यो गर्न खोजेको त्यो खालको रेस्पोन्ड आउँछ नि त तर फिडब्याक सर्कल गराउँदाखेरि चाहिँ the first rule that we were told about the feedback circle was when somebody is giving you feedback you're just supposed to listen यो मोडलले चाहिँ के गर्दियो भन्दाखेरि it actually does not let you talk and you have to listen to what the feedbacks.
Let's also look at why lab learning model emphasizes so much on problems rather than their solutions.
So solution मा मात्रै फोकस गर्यो भने लङ टर्म बेनिफिट नहोला भनेर प्रब्लममा डिप डाइभ गर्ने विश्वास हो त्यो चाहिँ फर एक्जाम्पल जस्तै घरमा तारै तार भएको छ भने अनि एकैछिन एउटा छोप्दिउँ पनि सल्युसन हो तर त्यो भन्दा यो तारै तार किन भयो यसको जरा के हो प्रब्लम इस्यु खास कहाँ हो भनेर त्यसलाई सल्भ गर्दै गयो भने चाहिँ त्यो मेस अफ वायर्स चाहिँ अलिकति राम्ररी लङ्गर रनलाई सल्भ हुन्छ भनेर.
Taking all this into consideration, where is BUCSBIN heading towards in the future?
One advantage as a university we have is we can have this lab thing credited into our curriculum. So our whole objective is to get this thing rolling by 2020 where we can bring it in the form of a credited curriculum. So in the near future, say after 2020, the idea is also have international students coming and participating in our lab.
King's College, on the other hand, have started a lab which they call DoLab.
So DoLab, the first thing that I want to talk about, DoLab, the name itself, this is a lab where you get to do things. Other time it will be lectures, but at DoLab you're going to be doing things, you'll be learning by doing a lot of times. Or because the 4 months model, this students who have no idea to students who are ready to get out there in the market and launch their product. That's the process we want to do.
With its bold approach towards problem solving, BUCSBIN hopes to close the gap that exists between the university education and the industry. By giving students the power to understand and explore the market better, BUCSBIN prepares the students to understand problems from its roots. This will not only help students to tackle real problems, but will also allow them to come up with solutions that will create impact in society in the long run.
And when you're learning through experience, you have to experience it. And that is why we see the transformation even with the students. And I really have to thank.
If we bring these universities together with our own institution, then certainly many more students can get chance to study here.
There were people coming from the industry. Maybe there were people coming from different backgrounds. And this is something that is really critical in today's world for a learner to learn actually about things that is required in the real world.